This program is brought to you by Hungry Jack's and Bunnings Warehouse.
We head to John Cain Arena for the Phoenix and the Taipans. Cairns, they shocked the world in round one, getting a massive win over Tasmania. 25-point win. No one saw that coming. The Phoenix, they're bouncing back off a loss on Thursday night. Let's have a look at a same-game multi. Just the two legs, but Tajir McCall, quiet in round one. He'll bounce back over 14.5 points. And I like Cairns to cover the 2.5 points. They're gritty, they're grimy, they'll get the job done, they'll cover the 2.5. They might even win this game. The Phoenix and the Taipans, gamble responsibly.
You know the score. Stay in control, gamble responsibly.
This Creek, feet set, looks good. Oh, sensational for Pinder. Adnam steps back. Mitchell Deng, nice get out of the timeout. And up he goes. Got it away. And Scott. Oh my. Bottom of the net. Here they go. So running to the other end of the floor. Aggressive. Stole it away. He's playing inspired basketball. Big, huge. Adnam. Fires away.
It's round two of the Hungry Jacks NBL, and tonight the live action is coming to you from John Cain Arena, where the Southeast Melbourne Phoenix play host to the high-flying Cairns Taipans. The Phoenix won here last Saturday against Tasmania, but then stumbled in Wollongong on Thursday night, losing by 13 points to Illawarra. While the Taipans arrived full of confidence after opening their season in record-breaking fashion last Monday in Hobart, defeating the Jack Jumpers by 22. Should be a good one. Looking forward to this. I'm John Casey alongside Jenny Screen and Leonard Copeland, and we should get a good game here. Both teams will be desperate.
Absolutely desperate, because come the end of the season, they're going to need as many wins as they can. And I'm liking the Cairns. They haven't won here at John Cain Arena very often, but if they can splash like they did in game one, Copes is going to be a good one for them.
I tell you what, both teams love to shoot the three ball, but if Cairns come out and play the way they played the other night, look out, Southeast Melbourne.
Well, the Phoenix just stumbled, as I mentioned, in Wollongong on 13 night, their third lowest score in franchise history. They have to pick it up, and Mitch Creek has put the heat on himself.
Yeah, look, I think personally I had a bit of a stinker. Couldn't finish anything around the rim, looking for contact, just not playing an aggressive, hard game that I'm used to. And I think that kind of translated to the rest of the team as well. It kind of opened up a bit of softness because it came from one of their leaders. So I have to take responsibility for that. But tonight's a new game. We know they switch a lot. We know they're very long and tall and athletic and strong. So we have to try and punish that with good touches inside. But obviously a win tonight is key for us.
Mitch Creek had 23 against Tasmania, just 12 against Illawarra. I like the fact that he's owning it, though.
He has to. He's the leader. He's one of the highest paid in the teams, and that's what you want. He needs to step up. He is the barometer for Southeast Melbourne Phoenix, and then everyone has to follow in and line in behind him. I'd love to see them go inside to Williams. He had a double-double in the game on their loss, so he's going to be a huge factor to them as well.
You say one of the highest. He's probably the highest paid on that team. But I love the fact that he's put it on his back, and I expect a big game from him tonight.
Well, what about the Cairns Taipans? You lived alongside one of the greatest three-point shooters of all time. Drewy never saw a shot he didn't like, and the Taipans, did they fire them away in Hobart?
They shot the ball extremely well. Look at these guys. I mean, when you get up that many three-pointers and they're going, then you have to feel good about yourself. And then, in fact, I think they're bringing in one of their other new guys, Joe Antonio, who can shoot the ball as well. So, again, if they come out and let it fly like this and it's going down, Case, look out Southeast Melbourne.
They had 5 players in double figures, Case. It was phenomenal to watch. They were down as much as 11 in the second quarter against Tasmania in Tassie, and actually came out to win. That man on screen, DJ Hogue, there's a lot to like about him for me. He's long, he's athletic, and the Majukding Deng, he is the most experienced NBL Cairns player on their roster. Let's hope he gets another good one tonight as well.
They hit 9 threes in a quarter. Nerily Meadows will join us in commentary as well from the best seat in the house there at courtside.
Thank you very much, Case. Well, we know the Phoenix are injury hit to start this season, and none of those players are returning for this one. But Coach Simon Mitchell, he is big on the fact that this is a real opportunity to build the depth for the business end of the season for the club. He's saying this is a real backs against the wall mentality to get the season underway. And despite what we heard from Mitch Creek a few moments ago, Coach says he was really happy with the endeavour, the fight from his men, albeit in a loss. Just on those missing stars, Joe Chi arrives on Monday and is a chance to come straight into this side next weekend against New Zealand. And chatting to the Phoenix tonight, they tell me Ryan Brockhoff, Trey Kell and Gary Brown are also a very good chance to play in that game.
You certainly don't want to start short-handed, but they have to do it here tonight. The South East Melbourne Phoenix so far in this season. Let's take a look at our champions starting five. And for the Phoenix, they're going with the same five, Leonard, that started on Thursday night, but they'll be looking for a different result.
Absolutely. Look, Jenny spoke about Williams. I love the fact that Williams goes to the glass. He grabs most rebounds that are available. You can get the ball inside to him, kick it out to Creek or Adnam, and they knock down their threes. It gives them a chance.
13 and 11 against the Hawks on Thursday with a double-double there, Williams. And for the champions starting five for the Cairns Taipans, well, no change to their lineup and no surprise there from who got the job done on Monday in Hobart.
They were exceptional, weren't they, off the top? And everyone's underrated them the whole season. They've got them 10th. A lot of people saying they're not going to win a lot, but they've got a chip on their shoulder. They're like Ford. He is that kind of coach as well. So I'm intrigued to see how this one plays out, but they've got to pack their defense in really tight against the Phoenix and stop their transition ball.
Sea of Green at John Cain Arena. Looking forward to this. It's Teachers Appreciation Game by the Phoenix. Like them getting around the Chalkies. Hope they enjoy it as well. The Taipans, they get off to a quick start. They did in Hobart, and they've controlled the tip here to start proceedings as they look to open scoring here. And they'll share it through sets of hands, and they're patient with it at the moment as well. They're going to wind the shot clock down into single digits. Here's Pinder spinning inside and gets the opening score.
He's such a different player than a couple of years ago. He's more mature. He's taking better shots. He's focused. He helps his team tremendously.
Much improved, in fact, the most improved in the competition last year, and continues on that trajectory at the moment through his work with the Australian Boomers as well at the Asia Cup. Here's Mitch Creek firing from close range to get the Phoenix underway.
And that's what you need from the leader. He said it pre-game as well. He loves that side pick and roll and then loves the post up against a smaller defender, which he showed there.
Talking the talk and now walking the walk is Mitch Creek as McCall comes up empty. A chance for Ruben Tarangi to bring the Phoenix back up the floor. 60 seconds played, both teams on the score sheet. They roll it down low. Williams kicks the pass across court. Can't convert. Pinder snatches the board. So McCall. Trailer here. Hogue makes some room for the shot. Can't connect. A chance for Mitch Creek and the Phoenix here. Take the lead for the first time. Williams goes into the paint and draws a foul. Getting it done.
Mitch Creek certainly looks like he's focused tonight. He looks like he's ready to go. And if he gets off to a good start, then the rest of the team follows.
Thank you.
Amy replay shows DJ Hogue coming out with the first foul. And Williams to the free throw line. 7 of 9 at 78% so far this season. In the two games, a win at home and a loss on the road for the South East Melbourne Phoenix. Great to see NBA star John Wall, the part owner, on social media today, pumping up the game. And the Phoenix do take the lead for the first time. They've scored the last 3 points here. And a quick whistle. And Ryan Brockhoff, one of the injured players sitting out at the moment for the South East Melbourne Phoenix. Fingers crossed, round 3 for he and Trey Kell to come back into the team.
When you think of the 4 players that are out, or 3 rather, than Joe Cheechum comes back in and joining Williams, it's going to be an interesting lineup and how they're going to play as Phoenix. Oh my goodness gracious me, talk about fine dining. Pinder putting on a show there, Copes.
He loves that spin, doesn't he? Fantastic.
Credit to Adam Ford as well for being able to draw this out of Keanu Pinder. He had his critics early in his career.
I was a critic as well myself. I just thought with all that athleticism, he just wasn't a smart player, but you're right, Fordy's got the best out of him.
Spinning baseline and nice finish coming there from Williams. All
this spinning, I'm getting dizzy. Jeez.
But just speaking a little bit more to Pinder there, just remember where he's from, Torres Strait Islands, hasn't had the upbringing that we would have had here in the other areas, and Danny Morsu's worked a lot with him as well. So it's going to take time with someone of his caliber, and then adding the Boomers lineup that he got this year in the series as well in the Asia Cup, that only adds to him getting some leadership.
Absolutely. Being around good people, Jenny, you're right.
He's now playing with a smile on his face as well, and Adam Ford made a point of saying it's about keeping the players happy as well.
And jealous of the hair. I'm jealous.
Aren't we all? So, tick over 2 minutes played here. And we've got a coach's challenge straight away.
Hey, 40 don't mess around, does he? He's into it straight away.
Jeez. Loves to poke the bear.
Jeez.
Didn't take long at all, of course. This is the first of a double-header. A little later, we're going to see the Perth Wildcats host the Illawarra Hawks. And then tomorrow, it's Tasmania against Brisbane, Melbourne against Sydney, and we finish in Cairns on Monday night. The Taipans back up against Perth. So, hectic travel campaign, as we know, for the Taipans. Been from Cairns down to Hobart, back home, now to Melbourne, and then heading home again to entertain the Wildcats. But looking forward to later clash tonight between the Wildcats and Illawarra. Bryce Cotton, anytime he's involved, it's a good game. It's
a beautiful game to watch when that man is suiting up indeed. I love what he puts on show. It's just sensational and puts Copes a little bit to shame. And back in his heyday, do you think you could ever play like him?
Let me tell you something. Cotton was a small guard. He couldn't guard me.
Had no chance.
No chance at all.
No chance. Although I think his defense is underrated because he's so good offensively.
Yeah. Absolutely, absolutely. And that's where teams, and that's where Adams from Sydney last year took advantage. Most people want to stop Cotton, but Adams went at Cotton and scored 30 points every time they played against him. So that's probably the only way to stop him.
So the coach's challenge unsuccessful. The Phoenix bring the ball back up the floor. Kyle Adnam started on fire in the opening game with 30. It's down to the baseline. Nothing on offer down there. Tarangi penetrates. 8 on the shot clock, high off the glass. Williams the O-board. Short arm the finish though. And the Taipans will get it.
Peace.
And they're the touches you want for Phoenix. They've been great on the offensive glass in the first two games with 17 and 15 respectively, but they've got to be able to convert those second possessions and second efforts throughout the rest of this game.
No, stop.
Just a little bit happening off the ball as well.
Fun to see, Case. Fun to see.
Players marking their territory. It is always good to see. Pinder, the alley-oop play just off the mark, the pass from Bull Quayle. Pinder stays with it. He scored all 6 points for the Taipans.
It's tough.
Enterprising start to the game for Pinder. 3 or 4 shooting. And a travelling violation called. Adnam. Point's going to be waved away.
And really good job there by Cairns. We know that the Phoenix like to play a lot through the centre field, through that pick and roll, through penetration, through Adnam. And what you don't want to do is bail him out. And they just stood their ground there. But you can see the full court pressure here from Phoenix. On any dead ball situation, they're either going into a press or full court.
So Quayle takes it. They look down low. McCall working against fellow 22 Dane Pinot, who's checked into the game. Pinder from close range, this time off the mark. Tangled there with Pinot as well. He hits the deck behind players. Adnam exploring. Finds Creek, trying to shake McCall. Former teammates in the G League, and we'll hear a little bit more about that as the game goes on. And Mitch Creek comes up with a nice finish. That was impressive. Creek has 4, Williams has 3. Between them, they have all of the Phoenix points. And Keanu Pinder's the only player to score so far for the Taipans and remains so.
What do you think about Tajir McCall this year, Jenny?
I mean, he plays a little bit erratic. We're only game 2, so he can't be too nasty yet, but he loves to get out and pace like he is here. Pushes the ball really fast. But then you got Scott. Ooh. As we see that fast break basketball that I think we're going to see a lot of highlight reels for Cairns Taipans in the way they like to push with pace. But McCall, he's that player that gambles. He loves a steal. He loves to get up and in. And that can either work for you or it can be a disadvantage.
Absolutely.
And you're nodding your head right now.
That's what I was looking for, the gamble. He loves to gamble. Sometimes it hurts you. Sometimes it's great for him. Sometimes he hurts that team by the way he loves to gamble and turn the ball over and kick it up the floor. You know, I think he's a very good player, but maybe he needs to rein it in just a little bit.
I mean, he was the leading scorer for them last season with 16 points. He did have 6 turnovers in his first game this season, but he did have 7 assists and also 8 and 7 to go with that in terms of rebounds and points. So, unlike the misses, though.
Cut down on the turnovers and you'll be fine.
Well, we've got free burgers here for the state of Victoria. And code word, as you can see, is MOVE. That's very kind of Sam Wardenberg to miss his pair of free throws. He's an entertainer though, McCall. We like that. And so is this man, Mitch Creek. And we've got an update on Mitch as we go courtside to Nerily.
A really aggressive start from Mitch Creek here, both on the court and off the court in the timeout. He was really ginning up the boys. We heard him earlier in pre-game just how fired up he is for this one, but make no qualms about it. He is playing a little underdone. He had a really interrupted pre-season. He's playing a little bit hurt at the moment with the short turnaround. Coach Simon Mitchell didn't know how he'd come up for this one, but given the start that he's made, I think no concerns for Phoenix.
Thanks, Nerily. Middle stages of the opening quarter here. Phoenix on top by 3. Cairns have had problems here with the field goal shooting. 3 of 10 at 30% at the moment. Yet to hit a 3, but as we mentioned pre-game, they hit 9 in a quarter against the Tassie Jack Jumpers. So still plenty of time left in the game. I
like their defense, so they're always up and in. They make you get rid of that ball straight away. You can't just, like Jenny said, Southeast Melbourne want to drive in that middle. And they seem to collapse on defense to guard that middle quite well.
Well, the pass just impacted there. Work from Shannon Scott, but it comes back to Adnan. Shot clock at 2. Gave it up to Tarangi, bobbled the pass. Shot clock expires in the background. Phoenix get after it. Well done, Williams. And this time, Adnan decides to go quickly. It was a good option. So a 6-point lead now for the Phoenix, but they halve it very quickly as the Taipans come up with their first threes through Hogue.
And Hogue, interestingly, he's 30 field goals in the NBL Blitz. 22 of them were from the 3-point line. So all bar 8 of those, we know he likes to rain it from deep, but great hustle there from Williams. We know that he can get to the offensive glass, and that's what you want is the second possessions falling for you. But Hogue, you got to watch where he is anywhere on the court.
Pretty shot too. He is a very
beautiful
pretty shot.
Reaction, none came, so it's okay. Kyle, he got 18 on the clock, okay?
So Kyle Adnam and the Phoenix to restart here. Up by 3. Tarangi back for Adnam. Joining in Madoot as well. Adnan decides to fire again, this time off the mark. Athletic work from McCall to snatch the rebound. Feeds the running Shannon Scott and finds Pinder muscling up down low. Good defensive pressure from Pino there. Going to be an important season for Dane Pino. Needs to get back to his best if the Phoenix are going to make some noise.
I asked that question the first game. We know Dane is a very good defender. He's a very good rebounder. Does he lose his spot when Joe Chi comes in? Does he lose his minutes when Joe Chi comes in? Because Joe's going to play. Williams is going to play. He's a very good rebounder. I think it's hard to play all 3 of those guys.
I agree with you, but I also think you can be impactful in small moments of time, and that's why you want players like Dane to do that. You can look down the bench as Coach Mitchell and go, I can put you in for 5 to 10 minutes here and give me what you got. And it's the same with Ruben Tarangi. He's been around the league for a long time now, the New Zealand native, but he needs to be impactful like we know he can, and he's been had some great games in the green for the Southeast Melbourne Phoenix.
And that's why it's important in games like this for Dane Pino to make the best of it while he's getting an opportunity. Before Joe Chi arrives, Joe Chi could be suiting up next Saturday against New Zealand. Averaged 12 and 7 and 2 blocks last year, Joe Chi. Brings a lot to the table. See Jonah Antonio check into the game for his NBL debut. So we got 4 minutes left on the clock. So foul called here on the Phoenix.
Understand, unlucky, but you hit him in the face.
Speaking of Joe Chi, this team could look completely different next week. We got 3 or 4 new guys coming in.
Indeed. Trey Kell and Ryan Brockhoff can get back as well. So that's the 4th team foul here on the Phoenix. Still got 4 minutes left on the clock as Foxwell checks in for his first minutes. Just 2 fouls on the Taipans so far. Phoenix by 5. A little bit of it from the field here at 50%. Taipans just 4 of 12 from the field. And Pinder has 3 of those field goals. Nice move, Scott. Couldn't find the finishing touches, though. 9 rebounds to 4 is a huge edge for the Phoenix so far in the game as Creek hands over to Williams. Now picks up the dribble. Tarangi. Reluctant shooter will do it. Now they find Foxwell. Baseline coming up with a 2.
And talk about a player that's taking advantage of his minutes. That's Owen Foxwell. He would have been disappointed with his output in the first couple of games, but he was a DP last year, came in, put his name on notice and said to Coach Mitchell, I want to play and I'm good enough to be in this league.
And one of those players who can change a game because he gets up and in, he disrupts any guard that's coming down the floor. I love the way he plays.
I love that from Jonah Antonio. Comes in with a reputation as a three-point shooter. High IQ says they're in foul trouble. They're not expecting him. Here I go. And straight away he picks on Owen Foxwell and draws a foul and goes to the free throw line and tries to get a confidence boost to his career.
In case in game 1, we know they went to the foul line 32 times. They shot at 81%, 26 of 32 Cairns did. So we know that they can get on the glass, they can get deep in penetration and get those easy buckets from the foul line, and it's a good start for him to get his first points in the Cairns NBL uniform.
One. Let's go. Do it, please. One.
They'll take anything they can get at the moment because from the field at just 31%, 4 of 13, they need to keep the scoreboard ticking over. 6-point edge. They've coughed it up here, the Phoenix. McCall, Wardenberg, penetration, he gave it back. Well read by Foxwell, and now reaching in from behind. Phoenix won an unsportsmanlike call here on Wardenberg. He was out of position. Did he have a play on the ball? Active hands there from Antonio. Back for Cairns. That's nice skills there from Foxwell. So inside the last 3 minutes of the opening quarter, Cairns scored the first 2 of the game, but it's the Phoenix on top by 6. Down low, Williams. Now Madu. Foxwell, shot clock at 6. In traffic. Wardenberg worried him out of the points. Ball slapped clear by Scott, but it comes back to Foxwell. As Williams, so that looked like an offensive foul, just a little too aggressive against Wardenberg, and Williams knocks him down, picks up the foul, his first.
Is he complaining about that? Come on, big fella. Come on now.
You guys have warned me already.
There was a little bit of acting in there, I'll give it to him.
Yeah, but
you know, it's not a big man league anymore, Coach.
All right. Cairns play that switching defense, so I think sometimes Southeast Melbourne need to come down, slow it down, and find the mismatch. If they switch and if there's a big on a small, they throw that ball inside.
Got close to the hoop, couldn't finish it off there. It was Bernard. Scott hands over, Wardenberg. A 3, knocks down the triple. As the Taipans draw it level at 16 apiece, they've scored 7 unanswered points here.
And don't you love how their bench gets up after every made shot? I love the fact that they're invested. They feel like they should win. They feel like they're a unit now. They're on the road. It's them against the world.
Foxwell from deep, off the front of the rim. Chukdeng grabs the rebound. High scorer for the Taipans on the opening night against Hobart with 26. Here's Wardenberg once more. Got inside Williams. Touch pass Scott. McCall outside. Not his strong suit. Junior would do it. Looks to go coast to coast. In traffic. Gets it done. Draws a foul.
And that's what happens when you don't get good looks on the offensive end down one end, and then that transition basketball, which we have known to become very popular with the Phoenix, get it done. And they do through Madut in that case because they're not matched up early enough. He gets deep into the paint, draws a foul, and can get himself to the line. And he was great, Copes, in their second game. Had 21 points and 7 rebounds. Really, really great considering he was a late signing for the Phoenix.
Yeah, I'm impressed with him. And I was at the game, the first game, and I didn't realize how big he was. He's got a nice body on him. He plays good defense. He can shoot the ball well. He's a team player.
Just 1 of 3 from the free throw line, the Phoenix. They're up by 2, a little over a minute out from quarter time. Wardenberg, Deng, on-ball qual, whistle on the play, free throws to come here. 7th team foul on the Phoenix.
Is that 2 on Creek?
Second personal on Creek, already Junior Madut has 2.
Teams don't play like they used to back in the day now. Yeah, you better take him out because if I know if a guy's got 2 fouls, I'm going at him the next 3 plays down the court.
And this will be interesting to see if Cairns can take advantage of this situation. The leader, the barometer, that is Mitch Creek from Southeast Melbourne Phoenix. We only have 1 minute. Momentum, can they take it going to the second quarter? And potentially he's going to sit quite early in the second as well. So can they take that and make that advantageous for them?
Absolutely.
And the Juk Deng was good from the strike. In Hobart, 4 of 5 from the free throw line.
Never seen a shot he did not like, this young man.
Hey.
But boy, he made it rain in their game one.
He did, didn't he? There's nothing wrong with that, Jenny, either. There's nothing wrong with it.
Speaking from experience there.
Nothing wrong with it.
So Kyle Adnam with it for the Phoenix. Inside 60 seconds left on the clock. Term number 1 from John Cain Arena. Thanks for joining us here on the Hungry Jacks NBL. Williams lost control under pressure, needs help. Worked it across to Sevic and back to Williams. Like whistle, but foul is called and Williams is off to the free throw line for the second time in the game.
And that's just Williams taking care of business. Stronger, bigger body up against Cairns and getting himself to the foul line for some easy buckets.
Sorry, I didn't get that information.
Did struggle with some foul problems in the blitz, Williams, and going to have to adjust because sometimes imports come into the country.
Not sometimes, Case. All the time, imports come over here and they struggle. They struggle because it's a different league. The calls are different.
You need to adjust to them. They're not going to adjust to you.
Absolutely, absolutely.
And it does take a little bit of time, but he looks a player, and we know his record is outstanding. So an opportunity for him to become quite a force, and tandem with him and Joe Cheat when we get to see it. Now, it's going to present some problems for opposition teams. So Phoenix by 2, going on with the dribble, Shannon Scott. Talked out of the points though, and now Adlam comes back hard the other way. The bounce pass going in from Adasevic, missed the target, but it was scooped up there by Bernard, who comes up with his first score in the game.
And that's the difference between the two teams right now. The little sitters and gimmies from Cairns, they're missing in those turnovers that are reckless, whereas on the other end, Phoenix can be able to put it away.
And that's how Cairns usually play. And that's the Cairns we expect. Make the bad mistakes, let the teams hang around, missing easy layups.
Last play of the first quarter, they try to work it inside to Deng. Ball batted down out of court with a buzzer signing in the background. So the Southeast Melbourne Phoenix, who led by 7 at one stage during the open quarter, will settle for a 4-point lead here at the first break. It's the Phoenix 22, Cairns 18 from John Cain Arena. And this season, with thanks to Latrobe Financial, we're giving away a guaranteed $50,000. Let's find out how.
Hey fans, this season, with thanks to Latrobe Financial, we are giving away a guaranteed $50,000. And like these NBL legends, Wortho and Gibbo, you can be a Latrobe Financial legend. All you need to do is send in a clip of you making a half-court shot for your chance to win a semifinals opportunity to shoot from half court for $50,000. All thanks to Latrobe Financial. Head to the NBL website now to enter.
John Cain Arena in Melbourne. You're with round 2 of the Hungry Jacks NBL quarter time between the Phoenix and the Taipans. Seesawing affair, both teams in front in the opening quarter, but the Phoenix 22-18 and with the possession arrow to get us underway here in this second quarter. Kyle Adnam will do the honours. 50% from the field in the opening quarter, 9 of 18. Adnam went on with a dribble there. There was an ambitious attempt. He was fouled in the process, so free throws to come here. Just though Keanu Pinder has picked up the foul. And that's going to be his second personal. So Kyle Adnam to the free throw line. One of the best in the business. If it was a free throw shooting competition,
you just put it on.
That's twice now, and we're in the second quarter, Case, that you've done that.
I better get down to Nerily Meadows. Save me, Nerily. He was 10 of 10 before missing there.
It's all you, Case, sorry. Listening in to Cairns in at that quarter time break, they may be down by 4 at that time, but Adam Ford, he was staying very calm as coach. He said, you missed some shots, that's okay. Stay calm and get the balance right between offense and defense. Have confidence in yourself in offense, composure in defense, and believe in yourself. From a Phoenix perspective, Screeny, you're all over it. Craig starting this one on the bench.
2000. Look at McCall. Dances into the paint and puts a lid on 2.
What I'm loving about Cairns is their half-court game. They're actually showing great composure on the defensive end, but also on the offensive end as well. It's something that we're not known that Cairns likes to do. One thing that they've forced Phoenix into is 5 turnovers as well in that first quarter.
Adnam, nothing on offer. Releases the ball. Servich fires unsuccessfully. Qual the rebound, and now McCall. So neither team being able to stamp their authority on the game just yet. It's quite an arm wrestle from John Cain Arena. First of our double-header tonight. Perth and Illawarra to come a little later. And inside, and the finish comes.
Did he mean that? Did he mean to make that pass?
Well, I had no idea where it was going, but he'll take it as an assist.
I thought he was going the other way with it.
Oh, McCall stole it from Adnam. Oh, he's going to Deng, who was looking for the rebound.
That's the McCall I know. See, that's what I was talking about. 2 great plays, and then he blows up.
That's just the disappointing thing, because he was veering in, looking for the foul, because he thought the defender was going to make the contact, and there was just air here, but making it look pretty 1 time out of 2 with that slam dunk. Getting past Adnam and just throwing it down with ease. But if he can just do that more collectively, Copes, then he's going to be a lot more reliable, and Cairns are going to be a lot more of a factor.
Absolutely.
DJ Hogue with the ball. Shot clock rolls to single digits here as Pinder gets it from McCall. Points in the game for Pinder. A dominant force for them. Hogue kicks it to Pinder. Shot clock about to expire. In fact, it does.
Right. Someone shoot the ball.
Just game awareness not where it should be there for the Taipans, so they turn it over for the 5th time in the game.
Has Bull Qual even taken a shot yet?
Bull Qual. His game. McCall in traffic, lost the handle on it, under pressure. Adnam. Well, nice pass inside, rolling to the hoop and fouled. Corey Smith-Milner is going to the free throw line.
And we know Shannon Scott in game 1 for the Cairns Taipans. He came in, injected himself, and just calmed everyone down. I think he's a great playmaker. He's the floor general for them, and that might be able to put McCall back into the 2 spot and allow a little bit more efficiency.
Well, these players do know one another from another life, some of these players. And, of course, Mitch Creek and Alan Williams and Tajir McCall and Shannon Scott all played together back in 2018 with the Long Island Nets. And let's get a word now with Tajir about that partnership.
Just learning a lot about the guys. We look like a family, for real, for real. It was fun being around those guys. Mitch told me a lot about Australia, so to me, coming out here a little easier. I don't like that they're on the same team, but hopefully we can beat them and get away with that.
Nice banter tonight, maybe?
Of course. They might have to owe us dinner, me and Shannon, if we win.
What are you going to go with?
I don't know. I got to Google some expensive places. Whatever's the most expensive, they got it.
Well, they led that championship series by a game, but lost to the Rio Grande Valley Vipers 2-1. Alan Williams had 26 points, 21 rebounds in the deciding game 3. He did all that he could. And Ryan Brockhoff is with us at courtside. John Casey, Jenny Screen, Leonard Copeland here. Ryan, thanks very much for your time. What are your impressions so far here?
Yeah, thanks for having me on, guys. Look, it's been an up and down first half. Few too many turnovers on both sides, but I think it's an entertaining game and it should be pretty close.
Rowdy Screeney here. Where are you at? When are we going to see you back gracing the court again in the NBL?
Yeah, it's been a bit of a long process, but we want to make sure we're doing all we can, make sure I come back and have no more setbacks. So I started rejoining team practices at the end of this week, and we'll start up full-time next week, and we'll see about next Saturday's game maybe.
Ryan Leonard here. Obviously, you guys are excited about the other guys coming in. How soon before those guys get back?
Yeah, I think the timeline's all pretty similar for all of us. So Trey Kell shouldn't be too far away. Gary Brown is working his way back as well. And then we get Big Joe Chi in this week. So, look, it's exciting that we're getting some players back. It'll take a bit of time to build the chemistry on court. But we've got an exciting group. We just want to get everyone back on the court healthy.
Look forward to seeing you back on the floor shortly, Ryan. Thanks very much for your time.
Thanks, guys.
11 points, 7 rebounds, top 10 in steals last season. Played about 2/3 of the season. High-quality player with NBA experience. Phoenix can't get him back into the lineup quickly enough.
You know what I loved about him, though? The rebounding. Everyone expected for him to shoot the ball, and he did that well. But he went to that glass. He gave them something extra.
So the Taipans snatch back the lead here on the back of a 3 from Majuk Deng. Now 3 of 6 from deep. Phoenix 1 of 4 in that category. There's Adnam. Shares it with Smith-Milner. Shot clock at 6. Not a lot happening offensively, so Adnam decides to fire. Couldn't complete it. Hinder eventually puts a stop to it. 13-8 the rebound count. 13-9 now. Deng, same spot. Couldn't get the result, though. And Bill Quoll is yet to take a shot in the game, Leonard. And for a man who loves to shoot last year
yes.
and hit those threes with regularity, I'm surprised he hasn't got going just yet. The sooner he does, the better it will be. 64 threes he hit last season.
Wow.
And hasn't taken a shot so far in the game, and we're middle stages of the second quarter.
Coming. They're coming, Case. Don't worry. They are coming.
Maybe when he starts, he won't stop. He's going to wait until he's required. But at the moment, Hinder with 8 points leads all scorers. And again, Phoenix able to come up with a 2.
I'm really impressed with the way Cairns play defense, but my problem with them is their smarts. I mean, and yes, you're going to have turnovers. Some of the turnovers that they have, and a lot of that's from your point guards or your leaders on the floor. Sometimes you just got to slow that ball down and get a good shot down the court 3 or 4 times in a row and see what happens.
Tarangi called for a travelling violation. Phoenix turned it over for the 9th time in the game. And that's not a number that's going to thrill the coach, Simon Mitchell. Timeout called, 6:13 to play until halftime in a seesawing affair. The Phoenix back on top by a point. Southeast Melbourne Phoenix have been able to do this and contain the Taipans at least through the first almost 4 minutes of this quarter, with Mitch Creek sitting on the bench there with those 2 fouls. So they'll be happy with the equation so far.
You would indeed, and if they hadn't have had those 9 turnovers, things could be a little bit different in terms of the point. They know that's been an issue for them. They had 17 turnovers in the game that they won actually against Tassie, but still you don't want them.
Well, Alan Williams, his first season in Australia, he's excited to be in the country. Let's hear from him.
I think the thing I really want to be able to do the most is like see the landscape of it and travel to as many places as I can. So anywhere I go, I tend to want to explore and really get the feel of where I'm at, and I feel like Australia's a really cool place to do that. I think seeing a kangaroo would be awesome, obviously. Crocodiles obviously would be really cool too, and I've seen both now. So I'm really welcome and open to any of the opportunities that kind of come my way to get out and do some stuff.
Can I ask?
Yep, please.
A brother. Why is it a thing that everyone thinks that we've got all these crazy animals, things that kill you, things that can jump on you?
Because you do. What are you talking about?
Spiders, but we never see them.
The spiders and the snakes case in this place. Come on, bro.
We got 7 of the 10 most deadliest snakes in the world, and I love it. Nerily Meadows was listening in with the Phoenix during the timeout.
led by Mitch Creek as well, Case. We know he's on 2 fouls, started this quarter on the bench, but he's very vocal indeed. I'll leave out the expletives, but he said, I need more confidence from this group. Trust yourselves, let's go. And from Simon Mitchell, the coach, offensively, he said, sort it out, sort out your screens. He is fired up now watching, and he's just bringing Creek in now.
Well, they need something in the middle there. McCall just down Main Street.
He's done that twice. I don't know what's going on in that pick and roll, but somebody better rotate, because if that happens...
They're going to be rotating to the bench.
That's right.
So the Taipans back on top at the stages of the second. McCall happy at the moment just to work down the clock to 10. Hogue well beyond the three-point line and came up short. So 1 of 4 from deep now for him. And 3 of 9 overall from the Taipans from the land of plenty as Adnan exploring in traffic. McCall said, give me that. Grabbed it away from him. Now with his foot on the accelerator, ran into a dead end. Good D there from Malcolm Bernard. And he wants to go coast to coast against multiple defenders. Couldn't get it done. Adnan couldn't clean it up initially. And now invites Williams in to get the job done for him.
Jenny, I'm sorry. I'm about to jump out of this chair over here. We just talked about McCall. Some of the play, look, we love him. He's a great player, but McCall, you got to be smarter than that if you got the ball in your hands that much. I'm sorry, he has to be.
Well, both teams right there. They're not two or three plays that the coach is going to be happy with. 11 turnovers for the Southeast Melbourne Phoenix isn't pretty basketball. And 7 for the Taipans. Neither are being able to protect the ball or pay damage to the other team that's actually turning the ball over at the moment.
Oh.
Way too many, isn't it?
Take a breath. Take a breath, Bernard.
I'm about to jump out of this chair. Just not smart. Get up a shot, at least. I'd take a bad shot rather than a turnover.
Yep.
At least you got a chance to get a rebound.
Well, the Phoenix averaged 11 turnovers a game last season, and they've got 11 here at the moment. And we're in the middle stages of the second. McCall inside. Nice pass. Draw the attention. Spoon feeding DJ Hogue there for the 2.
There you go. He must have heard you, Leonard. But that was nice from DJ. He's 1 of 6, 1 of 4 from deep, and needed to find an easy bucket as we feed Turangi.
Couldn't finish. Hogue had it and it was slapped out of his hands, and he went back and got it himself.
Be smart here. Be smart. Be smart.
Is that like give it up? Because that was going to happen next. Leonard Copeland looking into his crystal ball. Creek with a not-preferred ride adds to his tally.
It's just nuts.
8 in the game now for Creek as the Phoenix retake the lead. Shannon Scott with it. Like what he brings to the table, Shannon Scott. He's an attractive player to watch. And finally, we had to wait a long time for Bull Quall to pull the trigger. It was worth waiting for.
And expect the next one to go up as well now. He will get him up. I love the confidence in this guy.
Fantastic season last year, the Rookie of the Year. Handled 28 games for the Taipans. Delivered 10 points in those 64 threes. Here's Creek. I've seen this movie before. And Mitch Creek now into double figures along with Williams. And at the other end, they can't stop Pinder from adding to his tally to also move into double figures.
And that's a coach killer to score one end and then get beaten with a 1 full court pass by Cairns down the other end. Defeats the purpose of how you just exploited the 2-3 zone.
Let's go courtside narrowly.
You talk about Coach Killer's screen here, just watching the reaction of Simon Mitchell every single time they score. And again, he is going off courtside. I've missed this, guys. I'm so glad we're into a new season.
Is this tennis? Was that 3 turnovers in a row? Back, forth, back. What's going on here?
It was looking like a Harlem Globetrotters game there.
Come on.
You want entertainment? Hungry Jack's NBL is going to provide it. Anything could happen.
Wow.
Look, I'm not defending either team, but it's early days, guys, and these two teams are trying to work out their brand and get in sync with one another. And
nah, Jenny, I'm not hearing it. I'm not hearing it. These guys were making way too much money, because I'm still a bit mad about that. The amount of money they're making, you know, compared to the money we made back in our day. And yes, we turned it over.
Guys, gotta be solid.
That's too many turnovers.
Too many turnovers. Just loose shit. Just loose. Gonna stay with head tap. Okay, I like it. Listen, maybe don't turn the corner on the switch. Come back to 45 feet it early. Creaky, make sure we get a diver on the feed and we go head tap. Okay? Hey, on the horns action, we can triple switch that. Here we go. 1, 2, 3.
Coach Simon Mitchell, I thought, did well to contain himself there.
He did.
Kept it under control because they've got 12 turnovers. In fact, a game total of 20 turnovers already in the game. And as Leonard Copeland suggested, was resembling something of a tennis match there just a few moments ago. But Taipans on top by 3 after starting this quarter 4 behind. So 18 points to 11 is the scoreline so far in the second quarter for the Taipans. Getting good service out of Pinder with 10 points in his 11 minutes. Williams and Mitch Creek also in double figures in scoring for South East Melbourne Phoenix, who worked the shot clock down to single digits as Creek. Working against Hogue. Here's ball Qual. The ball was dislodged from Creek, and a chance now for Pinder. With a foot on the accelerator, wants to bounce into Williams, retreats to Scott. Hogue fires and knocks down the triple.
He's got a smooth shot, doesn't he, Jenny? I love that shot.
Beautiful. He loves a 3-2 as well. Only been to the rack once in this game, but he can let it rain.
7 points to 2 is the run in the last 90 seconds here for the Taipans. Mitch Creek puts an end to that. 12 for Mitch Creek on 6 of 6 from the field. He said he was going to take the responsibility himself after the disappointment against the Hawks on Thursday, and he is walking the walk. Cairns by 4. Scott works inside to come up with his first score in the game.
It's just too easy.
You mentioned a case before how much you like him. I really do. He's just got this calmness and composure about him. A floor general. He knows how to dictate play. Very controlled on the pick and roll settings as well.
Tarangi in a confined space, got it outside and eventually finds its way to Adnan. But they go back to Creek. Shot clock at 5. Penetration from Creek. Go on with it. The shot clock kept counting though. It's about to expire. Tarangi launches up a prayer. And good defensive pressure by the Taipans this season. With thanks to Latrobe Financial, we are giving away a guaranteed $50,000. That's right. Enter now at nbl.com.au/legends for your chance to win. 50K guaranteed. Get involved. Oh, poor pass off the restart. Mitch Creek adds another 2. Look away now if you don't enjoy turnovers.
Oh my goodness, some of the mistakes these guys are making. Just not at this level.
Taipans by 4. Rolling to them, Hogue takes them on, and he's drawn a foul on Williams here, and that's going to be his second personal. Well, maybe DJ Hogue lucky to get away one there from as he dispensed with Mitch Creek, and low percentage play there from Williams, who, as I mentioned, can be foul prone. I'm not sure Simon Mitchell would have enjoyed that too much.
But great recognition from Antonio there, just to see man down and found the open DJ and putting himself to the line for their 4 of 6.
So DJ Hogue makes his first free throw in the NBL. 17 points, 5 rebounds against the Jack Jumpers in round 1. And for a team who have lost their last 9 games at John Cain Arena, the Cairns Taipans are making a good fist of this at the moment. They lead by 5 after trailing by as many as 7 in the opening quarter.
Or when you've got 8 new players to your roster, they probably don't even know the records, as we see another turnover by the Phoenix.
Oh, from close range, Hogue couldn't complete it, but they've kept it alive. Top of the key, Qual off the mark. Creek grabs the rebound. Inside the last 60 seconds. An entertaining first half. And Creek comes up empty for the clean-up too. It's provided by Maduit.
I'll tell you what. Game film on Monday or Tuesday.
They'll burn some of this, won't they?
Jeez.
They won't want to see this again. 15 turnovers in the first half for the South East Melbourne Phoenix. World record pace. We're going to have to get the stat man onto that.
But let's flip the narrative and the positive. They're only down by 4 points. So they're well inside this game. Do that against the Perth Wildcats. It's a different Bulls game, but they're within a chance right now.
Catch and shoot. Antonio off the mark. Renault grabs the rebound. Phoenix are killing Cairns on the boards at the moment, 22-11. There's the rebound count. Mitch Creek goes on with a dribble. Tough shot, rattles around the rim and falls. He's got 16 now on 8 of 10 from the field. This has been impressive from Mitch Creek. And the Taipans look to slow this down for the last play of the first half. So they're up 2. Scott gives it up. Hope fires. Again, he's short where most of his 3 balls have been. So great shooting-wise from the Cairns Taipans, but they've got the lead here by 2 points after being down 4 at quarter time. The Taipans at halftime led at 43-41. Stay with us here on the Hungry Jacks at NBL. Plenty more coming your way on your Saturday night. It's round 2 of the Hungry Jacks at NBL. A little later tonight, we're going to be heading to the Wild West where the Perth Wildcats play host to the Illawarra Hawks. Wildcats starting in impressive fashion against Brisbane. The Hawks 1-1, coming off a good win against the Southeast Melbourne Phoenix. Will like their chances of getting a rare win over in Perth. So hope you're enjoying our coverage at the moment. Been entertaining. John Casey with Jenny Screen and Leonard Copeland here at the moment. Both teams in front during this game so far, but it's hasn't been all as good as we would have hoped.
Not the prettiest game in the world. Too many turnovers for this level. I think there needs to be a hero on both teams. Grab someone and say, look, we got to slow it down, run some plays, and try not to turn the ball over. Let's try to get a shot on every possession.
Absolutely agree with you. I think the highlight for Cairns was their ability to force the turnovers, some silly turnovers that were very costly for Phoenix, but be able to pay or get advantage for the Cairns. They were really good. Pinder, I thought, 10 points. He's been sensational. DJ Hogue hasn't been shooting a great clip from deep, 2 of 7, but putting it away still. But I'd love to see Bull Quo. We know that he was dominant in game 1 for them with 21 points. We'd like to see him get more involved as well, but Williams, he did some damage early, didn't he, Copes?
He was, he's always going to be tough on the board. He's a big, strong body, and you spoke about it earlier. Let's get the ball inside to him. If they have to double team, they need to swing it out, and those three-point shooters can knock the ball down.
These highlights thanks to Hungry Jack's, and already tonight, Hungry Jack's burgers have gone off. If you've joined us late, Moot was the code word. Sam Wardenberg missed the free throws. Very popular man now here in Victoria. But I think the Taipans, given these numbers, are going to be happy where they're at, because look at the rebound count, 22 to 11. Getting hosed on the boards at the moment, and the Phoenix shooting superior from the field as well. So both teams with room for improvement.
Absolutely room for improvement. Clean up those turnovers, and we've definitely got a great game on our hands. There's been a lot to like from Cairns, though. Everyone's ridden them off, doesn't think they're going to be an inch of the finals at all. But for me, I like their composure. They're playing some half-court basketball as well. They've got a great spread of scorers, and they're nice and selfless as well. So if they can limit those turnovers, I know that you're not liking, I think we've got a ball game.
Copes is upset. Imagine how Adam Ford's feeling at the moment, and Simon Mitchell more so, because 15 turnovers. The franchise worst is 20 turnovers in a game. They've got 15 at half-time.
Could you imagine the film sessions next week? That's going to be crazy.
Not pretty.
No.
No, they've got some work to do at the moment. But right now, as you say, Jen, I mean, the Cairns Taipans, they've got to be happy with the way that where they're positioned.
I would as well, because they're not even playing at home. They're away from their home crowd. They've been on the road now for 2 games, and they're doing a really good job. A lot of new players, 8 new to their roster. So they're trying to find their way, their gel. They're trying to work out the brand that is Adam Ford and how he wants them to play. And I really think that just as the season goes on, we're going to see like this chip on their shoulder. Everyone's against us. We're the underdog, and we're just going to take it at teams. And I think we're going to see that throughout the rest of this game.
Absolutely. And you can tell by when they score a basket, the whole bench gets up and they're involved. They want to be a quality team. They want to be together.
Well, as someone who lives in South Australia, someone from South Australia, someone who played for the 36ers, this all warmed our hearts to see the Adelaide 36ers do so well, beating the Suns initially, and of course weren't able to get the job done against Josh Giddey and Oklahoma City. It was 131 to 98, but still some good signs for the 36ers, who return home for their first NBL game on Thursday.
Absolutely. Adam Ford got on the phone and said, listen, hey guys, okay, we had enough. Let's put it on them and let them know this is the NBA against the NBL. But you're right, Case. They went over there and shocked the world. I mean, you beat a team, an NBA team with their starters. Everyone noticed. I mean, and to watch Twitter and watch some of those NBA players say, what's going on here? These guys can really shoot the ball. It gives Adelaide a world of confidence when they come back here.
Well, let's hope they come back here all in one piece. And Craig Randall is there, and Robert Franks is there, and Antonius Cleveland are there. The 36ers, we want to see them on fire here in Adelaide. Thursday night, if you're in Adelaide, get to the Adelaide Entertainment Centre for their opening game. But this one at halftime from John Cain Arena in Melbourne, it's the Cairns Taipans on top by 2, 43-41. We've got a whole lot more coming your way here on your Saturday Night Hoops. The Hungry Jacks NBL continues after this.
ready to help me?
Do you need my help?
I can't hold and drill at the same time.
Welcome to NBL Weekenders, a series where your favourite hoopers will jump off the court and onto the tools with help of the team at Bunnings.
All right, time to make something of the backyard for the little man. Maybe a cubby house, sand pit, one of these. I think he would like one of these. All right, I think Jack's gonna love this. What you doing, bud? You bringing everything up? Thanks, bud. Came together really well. Pretty sturdy, now when we get to painting. All right, we're putting on the finishing touches now. It's come out really good. We may have had a few little accidents and we spilled some paint over on this side, but we'll have to get something from Bunnings to clean that up with. But other than that, it's gone fairly smooth.
Great supporters of the Hungry Jacks NBL Bunnings. We're at John Cain Arena, and Nerily Meadows a few moments ago spoke to the Phoenix coach, Simon Mitchell.
Simon, thanks for your time. 15 turnovers in that first half. How do you rectify it?
Oh, we just got to be smarter. You know, it's our veteran guys. You know, we're going to get mistakes out of the kids. They're not ready. They're learning on the job, but Creek with 3, Kyle Adam with 4. It's too much for our veteran leaders. They've got to be a little smarter in those situations.
The good news is you're only down by 2. And Mitch Creek, I know you were a little worried how he was going to come up after a short turnaround. 16 points in that first half. Did it impress even you?
Yeah, look, he was pretty beat up after the game the other night. I was a little worried about him maybe not getting into today's game. But, no, it's Creaky. He's a soldier. He's ready to go.
Appreciate your time.
Thank you.
Mitch Creek with 10 of the Phoenix's 19 points there in the second quarter, holding them together, but he's going to have to find a little bit more as well.
And that was after the 2 fouls early in the first quarter, which made him sit at the start of the second. But he's a battler. He knows what it's like to battle. He's put this team on his shoulders many a time throughout the seasons that he's worn the Southeast Melbourne Phoenix uniform, and no doubt tonight is no different.
Well, he came in with the right frame of mind. He spoke about it before the game. He said, look, I made a mistake down in Wollongong. I gotta put these guys on my back, and that's what he's doing.
Taipans with a possession arrow as we get underway in the second half. Cairns up 2 and leading the rebound count handsomely. In fact, trailing the rebound count at the moment, 11-22. But that's a good start to the second half.
A good start. I was about to say, whoa, not a great shot, but we'll take that one for sure. Early hit and find there deep in the corner for Cairns.
Well, it was the third quarter on Monday night in Hobart where they unleashed 39 points, franchise high, including 9 triples. Plenty happening off the ball here. Williams wrestling with McCall. Now, Williams is going to be called for the foul here. It's going to be his 3rd personal.
Which could be a problem.
And they're the fouls that we were talking about a little earlier that you need to adjust, and you just can't afford. Simon Mitchell can't afford that. He can't afford that sort of foul.
Sub. Warning.
No more, okay? We've heard you. Okay, we got warning here.
We understand his frustration. The Cairns Taipans now with a 5-point lead. The biggest margin we've seen in the game was the Phoenix leading by 7 in the opening quarter. Now an offensive foul is going to be called on Cairns.
And I'm agreeing with the referee there. Just didn't wait at all for the screen. It's got to be a relationship between the guard and the screener. And McCall just went a little bit too early on that one.
So Kyle Adlam greeted by Paul Quall almost at the halfway line. Shot clock works to 10. Not a lot happening in the offensive set at the moment. Here's Williams just muscling in against Pender from close range. Adds another 2. He's got 12.
He seems to throw that elbow every time he backs the guy up. He needs to be careful here. Draw another foul and they're in trouble.
McCall, Pender. Catch and shoot from the corner, off the mark. Well done, Bull Quall, to keep it alive. And McCall from close range banks another 2. He's got double figures. Points coming a little too easy for the Taipans at the moment. And Adams' penetration all knocked down. Well grabbed there by Wardenberg, and a chance for McCall. Joining in Ho, back to McCall. He fires the 3. Couldn't finish it. Well done, Wardenberg, to keep it alive. Quall collides there with Tarangi, and the foul's going to be called on the Phoenix, I believe. So, getting after the loose ball there, Tarangi in a collision, and he's been called for the foul. So 2 fouls on the Phoenix here inside the first 2 minutes of the third quarter. And McCall, who's none of 3 from deep. And again a whistle.
I tell you what.
Another turnover, Post.
The smartest team will win this game. The smartest. Not the most athletic. Not the team that makes the most shots. The smartest team will win this game. There it is, man. I had to say it. I'm sorry.
Adnan arcs up the 3, off the mark. Williams gets after it. Double teamed in a corner, needs help. Tarangi provides it. Took over 2 minutes played here in the second half. Slow pass. Williams did well to reel that in. Couldn't finish it under pressure though, and Pinder puts a stop to it.
That was a great job, Mike McCall. Just walled up there. Didn't bail him out with a foul, but unfortunately just being erratic with the ball yet again and forcing another turnover for the Taipans. Great defense, but not being able to capitalise, and that's McCall's 4th turnover of the game.
Yep.
Well, unsportsmanlike foul could be called
so
here.
You've got McCall.
So McCall lost control of it.
And
it is an unsportsmanlike foul called on Tajir McCall. First of the game. So Williams to the free throw line, where he is 4 of 5 so far in the game.
And they're the fouls that hurt you, because not only do you cough up the ball and give them a possession, but they also now get a double possession back. So what could have been a 2-3 point game could actually, reduce this deficit for Phoenix. But they're the coach killers, fouls and turnovers that you don't want in these type of games.
I just expect more though from guys at this level. And yes, you're going to have turnovers. Yes, you're tired. But if you think this is going to win you games, it's not. You're right when you said if this team was playing against Perth or Adelaide, then the game's over.
Williams getting it done and enjoying it as well as the Phoenix close back to within 2 and a chance at a 3-point play. So Williams up to 15.
You know, I love seeing a big guy down low on the block and owning the position. We don't see that a lot in this league. We've got a few, but we don't seem to use them a lot. But he loves to bang. He knows where he belongs. He knows his spot, and it's down there on the post with that beautiful spin move.
You're right.
Alan Williams makes the extra. He has all 6 of the Phoenix points since halftime.
Adam Ford's zen this
It was
year.
good, wasn't it?
He's just so calm this year.
Bukwal firing, came up short. Now 1 of 3 from long range, and Taipans 6 of 19 overall. Just 31%, but not as bad as the Phoenix, who are 1 of 8. Williams going solo. I like this. That's 8 points in this quarter inside 3 minutes from Alien Williams, and he's got plenty to say about it.
Indeed, I would with that shot. Wasn't a jumper, floater, runner, something in between it was, but putting on the guard skills he was. Might have been a little happy feet there before the dribble, but you take it.
I'm just happy to see a shot go up. Thank you.
So Williams putting together a very nice game here. In his 3rd appearance for the Phoenix, came in averaging 13 a game, had 12 against the Jack Jumpers and 13 and 11 against Illawarra on Thursday night, and now up to 18 here on 6 of 8 shooting from the field and 6 of 8 shooting from the free throw line as well. Throw in 6 boards, and no one has more in that category either. He's proving to be the difference here.
Jenny, you're right. It's good to see a big guy on that box. I did the game last night, and Falling and those big guys for Brisbane were outside the 3-point line. You know, if you got that size, why not use it? I mean, even to throw the ball down and make a couple of layups and have guys come down and double you, then you can swing that ball out for your shooters.
You know what it's like to play with Big Meg. Mark Bracke was one of the best to do it in Australia, and it made you get a lot of your shots in your career as well, to have that big guy down low.
Absolutely.
Well, the rebound count at the moment, 24-13 in favour of the Phoenix. And the Taipans, when you look at their lineup, they really shouldn't be trailing a -9 in that number. -11, in fact. So the Phoenix back on top here. They have come out of the halftime break a little more energised. particularly from Alan Williams. He's had all 8 points since half-time. Shannon Scott back onto the floor for the Taipans. 2 of 5 from the field since the break. Goes on with a dribble. McCall couldn't finish it from close range. Williams grabs another board. Feeds Junior Madut. Tarangi is retreating away from the D. Here's Creek at the moment. Shot clock to 7 as Creek adds another 2. Phoenix expand their lead. Mirko Jeric from the Cairns Taipans is with it from the sideline. Mirko, this start of the second half isn't exactly what you were after.
No, not at all. I think we're just going to control the pace a bit better. You know, the turnovers are killing us and they're getting too many easy points under the ring. Rinky's been killing us, so we're just going to fix that up.
Mirko, what was the message from 40 at half-time?
Just not to let the crowd involved. You know, we just want to throw the first punch and to finish this game off the way we think we can do, and that is with a win.
Well, Mirko, this will help, knocking down the shot here. Tell us, what is your status at the moment? Didn't play a lot of minutes in Hobart, and we're yet to see you on the floor tonight.
No, I'm all healthy, all good, just waiting for my chance, and, you know, if 40 sees what he wants, then we'll go with that, as long as we win.
I will look forward to seeing you on the floor very shortly.
Thanks, mate. Appreciate it.
Okay, Jeric there from the Taipans. Great access from the NBL teams as well. Allow us to interview players in-game to get their thoughts. And at the moment, we've got a ball game.
And he's one of those players that can get hot.
Here's a chance for the Phoenix. And it's Junior Madut who adds another 2. So they have opened up a 5-point buffer here. 15 points to 8 is the run since half-time. 4.5 minutes played in turn number 3. McCall from close range came up empty. And Pinder makes the shot and looked like he was fouled in the process and couldn't get a whistle.
Great follow-up there from Pinder. Just the bunnies that they're missing underneath the rim for Cairns right now.
Williams wrestling with Pinder. Now triple team. He's got problems. Whistle supplied here from the baseline. Some bemused looks on the faces of the Taipans here. Those arms reaching in there. And there you see, I thought that Pinder was fouled there by Junior Madut and couldn't get a whistle. And then at the other end, looks as though the foul's going to be called here on Shannon Scott. Going to be his first personal. That's the 4th team foul on the Taipans here already in this quarter. As Pinder sits down.
And we know that he was touch and go for this game as well. Suffered a pretty big corky in game 1, was held from the court. A timely rest for him on the bench.
Josh Davey onto the floor as well here. Ho, good defensive pressure. Sam Wardenberg with 4 fouls. And the open man, Scott, fires, can't complete it. Athletic work from Bernard to grab the rebound. They're grabbing some momentum here, the Southeast Melbourne Phoenix. Had the lead coming into this second half since early in the second quarter, and it was Cairns making the running as Hogue grabs rebound number 3 for him to go with his 10 points. Right now, they need some points, and he's worried out of them there, Hogue. And a chance of Pinot. Adnan defers. Junior Madut with it. 9 points, 6 boards for him as he hands over to Adnan. Shot clock to 10. Madut baseline, lost the handle on it under pressure. They came from everywhere. DJ Hogue shares it with Antonio, whose pass was knocked down. Well done by Adnan. Good defensive pressure, and ball springs free, and now Ruben Tarangi has it. So Adnan wants to go on with the dribble here. Shot clock at single digits, kicks outside. He's mishandled the pass there. Start with Bernard, now goes inside and comes up with the 2.
But your Ding's been very quiet in this game. He's only had 2 shots for the whole game and led him in scoring last game.
Number 26. And Scott finds Ding and goes back in that direction. 8 on the shot clock. Got a mismatch down low with Ding on Adam. They couldn't find a passing lane to him. Pinot cleans up the rebound there. So he's got 7, in fact, 5 boards now, Pinot. And the Phoenix lead by 5 as we count down the last 3 minutes of term number 3. Adnam in traffic, took the contact, couldn't get a whistle. Now Hogarth and running, Scott ahead of him. Joining in here is Deng, tough shot. Couldn't get it done, but the offensive rebound to Scott. Hogue decides to fire, fills it up. Here's Simon Mitchell, a little disappointed in the background for the refereeing, and here's foul now called on Scott. Going to be his second personal. Free throws to come now. They're over the limit.
And that's actually, I was going to say that's a smart foul, but they are in the bonus, unfortunately, by Scott. He selflessly gave up a foul there, as we see here. Scott doing the hard work, allowing his teammate to get the points, but on the other end, he gave up a foul, which was really good because in the backcourt, Deng was down on the floor, so they were man down already, so he was doing the right thing. Unfortunately, they're in the bonus and sends Adnam to the line. He's been pretty quiet tonight, and I take my hat off to, I think, Scott, and also Qual has done a great job on Adnam, keeping him quiet, 1 of 8 from the field, and that's the thing we've seen with Adnam over the years. He comes out and has great games, and then his consistency to back it up week in, week out is tough, but obviously he doesn't have the personnel around him and is trying to carry the team on his shoulders a little bit, but hopefully he can get going in the second half.
We saw that in the first 2 games of the season, didn't we, Jen? Because Adnam had 30, including 6 of 9 threes on the opening night last Saturday, and then had 11 on 1 of 7 threes on Thursday night. But right now, Phoenix with a 4-point buffer had the better of this third quarter. The Taipans with some self-inflicted wounds here at the moment. They've got 6 turnovers in this quarter, and they're going to make it number 7 here. They can't get the ball over the halfway line.
Why is DJ bringing the ball to the floor anyway?
All of it getting across. You have to get everything across.
So 16 turnovers apiece here. Well, it looks as though he was.
He got everything across
the halfway line.
He got everything over.
Adam Ford bordering here on a warning, and there it is.
I can't have you swearing at me. Stop. I understand. No warning.
So both coaches now with a warning in the game.
Gotta love that cheeky smirk, though. Just poking the bear, testing the waters.
That Zen tends to wear off.
Particularly when you've led by 5 in this quarter, and now you trail by 5 in this quarter.
Oh, God.
I tell you, not what's wearing off, though, is the turnovers or the lack of looking after the ball. 17 for Phoenix and 16 for the Taipans.
What is going on here?
Pinder with it.
There's our man. There's our man.
Burko. Shot may have been deflected there. Came up short. Bernard leads the charge back the other way. Chance for the Phoenix to build on a 4-point lead. A little over 2 minutes out from 3/4 time. As Creek gets it from Adnam. Hands over. Junior Madut with it. Back to Creek. Shot clock at 2. They need to get it up quickly, and Madut obliges. Can't finish though. Well done, Pino. Over the back there, and Pinder to come up with his first score in the game.
He does that well. He's one of the best in the league of getting offensive rebounds.
So a good third term here from the Southeast Melbourne Phoenix. They started 2 behind. Now they're out to a 6-point lead, although that margin has just been halved.
And here's what Cairns do. They just hang around. It ain't pretty basketball, but they've recruited some phenomenal shooters, and they're just able to shoot it from deep quite well.
4 triples in this quarter from the Taipans after they had 5 at halftime. Creek double team. Madut takes on Pinder, and an offensive foul is called. Well, I'm not sure that. I thought this was the area that we were going to let play, and he's inside the protected zone, I think.
I would have been happy with just a no call. I thought that was beautiful walling up by Pinder, using his athleticism to protect the bucket. A no call, but hey, you'll take an offensive foul.
So Madut has to sit down. That's his 3rd personal foul. 3rd team foul on the Phoenix in this quarter. Taipan's already over the limit. Scott, he's just started to make things happen, Scott. Again got inside, but the finish wasn't there from DJ Hogue, and now Adnam. He decides to go inside. Rejected. Well done there by Shannon Scott at the defensive end, and the ball deflected out of court, and the Taipans are going to come up with possession.
It's entertaining.
It is. I'm enjoying it. Maybe the purists are.
Oh, wow.
But no shortage of things to look at, including a quick release triple, which is off the mark. Scott goes back to work, looking to clean up his own mess. Can't do so. So a little over 30 seconds left here in this third quarter. Mitch Creek will slow it down, and the shot clock rolls to single digits for him. Creek with just 2 points in this quarter. Came up short. Scott grabs the rebound. And now a chance for the Taipans to have the last say of this third term. Bounce pass for Pinder, who muscles his way in close. Couldn't finish it. Ball knocked down out of court. And the Taipans are going to get 1.8 on the clock here to get something happening.
Replay center, can we please confirm the clock?
Check that as you can hear from our referees, Mike. Pinder with 12 points. He had 6 of those in the opening quarter. So it is 1.8. Firing Hogue from deep is off the mark. That is all. Three-quarter time arrives, and after Cairns led by 2 at the major break, it's the Phoenix by 3 with a quarter to play. From John Cain Arena, the Hungry Jacks NBL, it's 62-59. Welcome back to round 2 of the Hungry Jacks NBL. Mitch Creek putting on a show here for the Southeast Melbourne Phoenix with 18 points in the game, along with 3 rebounds, and they've needed his scoring punch here. It's helped the Phoenix open up a 3-point buffer. 62-59 is the equation here at three-quarter time, but still plenty to play out here. And given that both teams have been in front in each of the 3 quarters so far, the decision is still up for grabs.
It is indeed. Creaky has been a huge factor as to why they're leading this game. In NBL23, he averaged 21 points a game, just a touch over, and now leading the way for his team. He's going to need to do that, especially with 3 guys out with injury, then Joe Chi to come in as well, but hasn't been exceptional or impressive, just solid, and that's what we've come to know with Creaky.
Taipans up 3 with a possession arrow. They look inside for Creek, who's monstered and going to the free throw line after he collects his thoughts here. Nerily Meadows, you were listening in with Cairns at three-quarter time.
Yeah, and they're really going for that emotional response in this fourth quarter, away from home, a tough game. Taj McCall led the way with a pep talk. 3-point game in the fourth quarter. He said, nothing that's happened before this matters. Forget everything. It's all about now. Come together. Adam Ford, the coach, added, it just comes down to desire now. Who wants it more?
That was a first foul in the game for Bull Quoll, but he got value for money.
It's surprising. Having a look at this one.
I hear what you're saying.
First trip to the free throw line for Mitch Creek tonight. Phoenix are 10 of 15 from the stripe. Taipans 6 of 8.
He's going to land on him, but the two arms are smashed. I know he's going to land on him. We expect that, but not the two hands to make sure he can't shoot.
So Creek gives the Phoenix the start that they were after, and they're going to get the ball back. They have called it an unsportsmanlike foul, so that's the second unsportsmanlike foul on the Taipans after Tajir McCall was pinged for one in the third quarter. So the margin out to 4. And a chance for that to expand here as Adnam feeds Creek, guarded by Deng. Two former 36ers go at it. Points will count, chance at a three-point play.
And Creaky knows how important it is to start the fourth quarter well, putting his team right where they need to be in front and coming away with much-needed buckets at the start of this fourth quarter, using his size and athleticism. Deng not known for being a great defender, and seeing the mismatch and taking ownership of it.
I really like this response from Mitch Creek. Just 12 points on Thursday night against Illawarra. We spoke to him pre-game, if you've joined us late, and he put the heat on himself and said, I need to lead this team back to the victory, and look at what he's done here in this game so far. So he's up to 23 now, which equals the points tally he came up with on opening night.
From word go, we knew Creaky was going to have a good game. He said it, you know. He was disappointed in the way they played in Illawarra. Yeah, obviously they have some guys out, but he's strong enough to carry this team, and as you see, he's doing a great job.
Well, this is what I like, because both Coach Simon Mitchell and the referee were right there, and they both saw a different thing.
That generally happens a lot, doesn't it, Case?
I don't know if that wasn't a smile, that was a grimace, I think, from Simon as well. But this is a game-high 8-point lead here for the Southeast Melbourne Phoenix. So the Taipans need to get some offense happening. Pinder looking to do that, spinning on Williams, who slaps it out of his hands. Loose ball scramble. It came back to Williams, and now Adnan. Creek joins in, guarded by McCall, pulls the trigger on the three. He's off the mark. Williams, the offensive rebound, back to Creek, finishing touches. We've got a double-figure lead here for the Phoenix.
The most underrated thing in basketball, the give and go.
Yep.
Double-figure lead for the Phoenix, 69-59. The Southeast Melbourne Phoenix really jumped out of the blocks here. 7 points unanswered to start this final quarter.
And all of them have come through Mitch Creek, and obviously Williams cleaning up on the glass as well. But Cairns on the opposite end are just a bit stagnant for my liking. Lack of ball movement, player movement. They're just trying to take it one-on-one, unlike what they did in game one when they had huge amounts of assists throughout the entire game and got great shots. Right now, they're just getting okay shots.
And that's the Cairns of old, and they played this way last year. Obviously, they have different players, and they're a talented group. They just need to learn to win together, play together, and be smarter.
Phoenix by 10. Let's go courtside, Nerily Meadows.
I spoke of that three-quarter time address from Cairns coach Adam Ford, saying that he wanted that emotional response. He's sticking with it now. It hasn't been the start they wanted, 10 points down. He says this right now is going to be a moment we look back on. We've got to stay with it. So he's really calling on his troops to get right back in this with that desire that he spoke of earlier.
Well, Mitch Creek's brought it here in the last quarter. And the Phoenix have got a game-high 10-point buffer. Taipans still looking for their first score of this final quarter. We've played a little over a minute from close range. Pinder attends to that.
And that's a smart play. I mean, get it down low. Let Pinder go to work. That's how the game started. He had the first 6 points of the game, and you haven't gone back to him, so.
We'll do it. Adnam. 90 seconds played in the final quarter, and Adnam exploring. Offensive foul again, the push-off, just not a lot of science there, and an easy call against Malcolm Bernard. Second personal for him.
It's going to be a big couple of minutes for Cairns, obviously, after that timeout. Coach Ford imploring his team to rally together. Got to stop here. They've got a points on the board as well. Just slowly closing that deficit, and let's see if they can close it even more in this next couple of minutes with some good looks on the offensive end.
They always seem to. They always seem to come back when we think they're out of it.
Yep.
3 here or 3 there, and they're right back in it. But then they make some stupid mistakes. But let's hope they can get this thing back.
Well, they're rolling the dice here with Sam Wardenberg as McCall goes coast to coast, adds another 2. So back-to-back buckets here for the Taipans, and a timeout has been called.
Well, if I'm Coach Mitchell, I ain't happy. No. I ain't happy with that dead ball situation, full court layup, coast to coast, with no one stepping up to defend that.
I think about my days back at John Dorge. Those big guys would have taken me out of the air. They don't do that anymore. There's no hard fouls anymore. You can't touch a guy down.
Let's go into the huddle with Simon Mitchell.
Hey guys, couple of bad ones. Regroup right here. Hey, let's go too big right now. Too big. Oh, have a look at this. Give that in as well. Oh, not bad.
Simon Mitchell going the non-verbal path here at the moment, just drawing up the play. I can tell you that Phoenix have equaled their franchise worst, 20 turnovers in a game.
Hey,
We're still
let's get
10 on the
the
clock.
two-man here. On after this one, Creaky. Punch, you're on the rim. Okay, back screen. So instead of pinning down, you got it. He's coming up for you. Back it, Junior.
6-point lead. 8 and a bit minutes to play, and this season, with thanks to Latrobe Financial, we are giving away a guaranteed $50,000. Enter now at nbl.com.au/legends for your chance to win. Why not get involved?
Trying to make a half-court shot and I can get 50,000. Is that what you're saying, Casey?
I know you can make it.
I'm asking, is that the rules? If I make a half-court shot, can I get the 50 large?
No, we'll have special rules for you. You're going to make it off the backboard.
Oh, come on, Casey.
With the eyes closed, facing the wrong way on one leg.
Wow.
Well, I think I've seen you do it before.
I was going to say, he used to shoot a lot on one leg.
So, Taipans at the moment need to find a way to stop Mitch Creek, who is carving them up. He likes round 2, Mitch Creek. Round 2 last season, he had 36 here against New Zealand, which is his career high. And what we've seen so far, that's not out of the question here. 25 and 11 of 15 shooting at 73% is a good response from a quiet night. In the gong against the Hawks on Thursday, Adnan patient goes to Creek. They offer him the baseline. Pinder left him alone. Adnan must fire with a shot clock about to expire. The rainbow 3 wouldn't work. McCall for Pinder. Stand by. He's going for home. Gets it done. Draws a foul. A chance at a 3-point play.
I told you. They're never out of it, are they? 1-2 mistakes by Southeast Melbourne, and they're right back in the game.
And they're back playing the game that they love, which is that run and gun. Get it up, clean off the glass, 2-pass punch up the floor, and just making you pay.
So good fight back here from the Taipans. Phoenix scored the first 7 points out of three-quarter time and led by double figures. And since then, we've had 7 unanswered points from the Taipans back the other way to close the margin to 3. 7.5 minutes left on the clock as Creek goes on with the dribble. Aggressive work and just lost the handle at the last moment. Junior to do it all over Shannon Scott. Now McCall will stand by against Pinot. Steps into the paint, can't get it done. Pinder came from a long way back and has taken out Junior Madut in the process.
Oh.
I can't watch. Was it bad?
Ankle. Looks like his ankle sort of.
Yeah, that didn't look good at all, did it? Foul's going to be called here on Pinder, so he's got 4 fouls and will have to sit down.
And the injury bug keeps going for Phoenix. Hopefully he's able to walk it off. He's standing up now and moving gingerly though.
So a 3-point ball game here. And we'll do it after a little inconvenience. Needs to get it over the halfway line and didn't do it in time.
Great defense. But why would you put the ball in his hands? He's hurt. Give it to somebody else and let him bring it down.
I'd love to see Owen Foxwell injected back into the game. We haven't seen him since the first quarter. We know that he's capable of having the ball in his hands, creating for his teammates. He doesn't need to put the ball on the rim. And then that takes the load off Kyle Adnam as well. We can put him into more of a shooting role. We know he's shooting at a great clip and has shown that early stage of this season.
22 turnovers now, franchise record for Southeast Melbourne Phoenix. Taipans almost keeping pace at 17 of their own. Here's Scott, who's going to be important here down the home stretch, and he knocks down the 2. 9 unanswered points from Cairns. They're back to within 1. Adnam works the ball, going to do it in the corner. He fires, a nice finish.
Nothing wrong with that ankle.
Just felt a whole lot better.
Of course.
McCall isolated against Adnam, muscles up against him. Adnam did a good job.
McCall, you're hurting me, McCall. Come on now. I know you love him, Jenny, but sometimes he...
Decision making can leave a little to be desired. Here's Adnam, baseline, pocket pass, wanted Pino, who was stumbling to the floor under pressure. Whistle on the play as well. So if that is a foul on the Taipans, it's going to be over the limit. Their 5th team foul here in very quick fashion, and that's going to be a problem for them for the remainder of this quarter. 6:10 left on the clock, and 5 team fouls to 2 is the call here in this final quarter against the Taipans. So that is a problem. A reminder, the Wildcats and the Hawks up a little later tonight in round 2 of the Hungry Jacks NBL. In fact, if the Phoenix can play this smart down the stretch, you'd have to think with Pinder on 4 fouls, Wardenberg on 4 fouls, and Cairns over the limit at the moment with 6 minutes to play. Well, the game is there for the Phoenix to be able to find a way home.
You had one going first? Okay, I had one going first. One went first, and then he ran. He stepped in and out, and you can't do that in NBL. One, no, you can't do that.
You can't do that, bro. Learn next time.
Dane Pinot couldn't make the adjustment though. So it's the Phoenix by 4. Cool Qual, been quiet offensively, just 1 of 3 from the field for 3 points. Now McCall with it. Lob pass, never had enough on it to Wardenberg. Loose ball scramble here. Tarangi only has the 2 points on 1 of 5 shooting. Tarangi. He's had a little bit more influence than his numbers might suggest. Ball deflected by Scott. Out of court. So what has been attractive tonight are those Cairns Taipans and singlets.
You love them?
The snakeskin looks great. I like it a lot. I saw it up close in Hobart in round 1. And I'd get to the NBL.com.au shop and be purchasing one of those. Christmas not far away.
We're going to get you one case. We're going to get you one case. What number do you want?
Can I get to Tajir McCall because he's entertaining and I've been turnover prone myself? In fact, some of my turnovers, you wouldn't want to see those.
One thing Cairns are doing well is their ability to wall up tonight. I think has been exceptional. They're using their athleticism. They're not bailing out anyone that's penetrating deep into the paint and just challenging every shot. And most times they've come up with either a poor shot from the opposition or they've been able to come up with a turnover.
The offense just hasn't been happening tonight for the Taipans. They racked up 106 against Tasmania in round 1. And right now they're struggling to get into the 70s as Pinder comes up empty once more. And a chance now for the Phoenix to expand a 4-point buffer. It used to be okay after that nasty fall high off the window. Couldn't get it done. Well done, Pinder. Snatches the rebound. Number 7 for him in that category. Only Williams with 8 has more. Scott left alone. Peels off the triple. Back to a 1-point ball game.
Great looking shot there. High pick and roll. Come off the screen. The big sitting lower in the lane. He lets it fly.
It's a few times now that the Phoenix defense on that mid pick and roll has just been a bit lackluster, lack of communication, not really sure what they're doing, and Scott making them pay.
So timeout called, 4:52 left on the clock here, and after the Phoenix led by 10 in this quarter, won the difference. And let's go into the huddle with Adam Ford.
Taj, I love you on the 45 with the idea that you do your cuts early, okay? All right. Now, I don't mind it. We can interchange this, especially knowing if it's empty corner. So, DJ, if this is you, you can look the short roll, pop, and go to work. If you're the on-ball, your screen setter. But let's look to get a little bit of hook. Okay? But also, let's just get a bit of hook and then rescreen. You're cooking and you're doing very fucking good calculated shit. You're my guy in the corner that's going to lift out of the 3 side, right? Hey, 5 minutes. This basketball's going forever. But hey, every time we foul them, though, we send them to the line. So play it smart. Good. Let's lock it in, fellas. Come on. Let's go.
Well, there you have it from the Cairns huddle. Nerily Meadows, you were listening into the Phoenix huddle?
Actually, I wasn't, because Simon Mitchell went with the stand-up, and that usually means, guys, do not listen in. Do not put my microphone to air, because usually they're dropping a few truth bombs. So Simon Mitchell, he is fired up. They're up by 10. That lead cut down to 1.
You mean to tell me coaches swear these days? Kidding me?
Well, they're making hard work of it at the moment, the Phoenix, but Cairns are teetering on the edge here. They can't afford to foul. They've got 4.5 to play. Phoenix up by 1. Shot clock works to 5. Rolling into the paint there. No response coming for Ruben Tarangi, who hasn't scored since quarter time.
Props to Pinder. His rotation there, especially on penetration, has been absolutely sensational for Cairns tonight.
Scott to McCall. Lob pass, Pinder just couldn't get control of the ball. Came up empty. Tarangi feeds Adnan off the mark, and Pinder gets after the rebound once more. So he's up to 8 in that category. Hogue has 8 rebounds as well, along with Dane Pinner. As Scott casually works to the baseline and comes up empty. 13 points on 5 of 12 from the field here for Shannon Scott. And we're inside the last 4 minutes. Single point the difference. We're still no closer to knowing who is going to win this game. Phoenix won the first quarter, Cairns the second, Phoenix the third.
The smarter team will win, guys.
And now Bull Quall. An unsportsmanlike foul has been called here. The third one we've seen tonight.
7-3.
And Tarangi just careless with the arm swinging across the body there, and he's given up an unsportsmanlike foul. So as Tajir McCall did in the third quarter, and Bull Quall did previously in this fourth term, unsportsmanlike foul. And they can be very expensive. And I suggest that Simon Mitchell, I know he's only allowed 1 stand-up timeout. He might need another stand-up timeout down the stretch here, because after leading by 10, they led 69-59 after a minute of this final quarter. And as you can see, the equation since then has changed very quickly, and Bull Quall adds to the carnage for the Phoenix.
He's done a good job on that one. I think you said that earlier. He's taking that one out of the game, actually. 1 for 12 Adnan is... Oh.
So Cairns back in front. They've done it on the back of a 14-3 run in the last 6 minutes. It has dried up offensively for Southeast Melbourne Phoenix, and Tajir McCall spinning into the paint. He's going to earn a trip to the free throw line.
Just get a little bit nervous every time he gets that ball in his hands. We know he can play, but geez.
Well, he made something out of that one, getting himself to the line. Would have been nice to see some more ball movement in that play. That has been working well for them, especially in closing that 10-point deficit they found themselves in at the start of the fourth quarter. But you're right, Case, it's really a case of who wants this game. I think it's there for the taking for both teams, and I think it's going to come down to those 1%ers, the blue-collar things, getting the rebounds, getting the stops, and finding the bottom of the net.
So McCall makes the back end there, extends the margin to 2. 3 and a bit minutes left on the clock. Creek has coughed it up. Turnover count continues to get ugly. Franchise record 24 turnovers now for the Phoenix. Taipans have got 20 in that category and still looking to add to it by the scheme of things here at the moment. Shot clock to 8 as Scott fires from deep. Can't get it. Well done, Adnan, holding off ball Cole and snatches the rebound. A chance for them to tie it away or retake the lead here, the Phoenix. Inside 3 minutes to play. Williams finds Creek down low, banks 2 off the window, and we've got a tied game.
And I think Williams is good in that pocket as well. His ability to pass off the pinch and the elbow position is really good. And Phoenix is playing smart there, recognising the mismatch and finding Creek.
Shot clock to 10. Here's a chance for Hogue, firing, knocking down the 3.
There's your boy, Jenny.
Well, he hasn't shot well from deep thus far, but 4 of 10 will take that. 11 from 30 are Cairns, and that's what's making them hang around in this one.
Taipans by 3, and they've got it back again as Phoenix come up empty. Big play, McCall for Hogue. There was someone in the commentary team may have doubted McCall's ability there to turn down the shot. Shot clock at 5 now. They're going to have to get busy. Adams good D. Scott takes him on.
Wow.
And nice finish as well.
He's been tough. He's been smart. He plays smart basketball.
I agree, but he's been great 2 ways, both on the offensive and defensive end, and that's what you call finding something out of nothing as he comes up with a huge turnover.
Pinder for the finishing touches, and the Taipans have burst out to a 7-point lead here in the final quarter after they trailed by 10.
Wow. Jeez.
Pinder's going to come up with some highlight reels this season in NBL23 right here on Hungry Jack's NBL. But DJ Hogue, huge 3 in the context of the game. And Scott, he's been exceptional off the bench for Cairns again tonight. If it ain't on the offensive end, it's on the defensive end.
He plays smart, doesn't he?
Yeah, he's a likely customer. Really like what he brings to the table. He's got 7 points here in this final quarter. Nerily Meadows, I'm sure this run from the Taipans has really sucked the life out of the fan base there at John Cain Arena.
It was almost like the crowd effects microphone was just taken out of the broadcast of those last couple of plays, guys. They're trying to get them back up in this timeout, but they'll need every bit of it to try and get home now that they find themselves down by this margin. But I just want to go back to that last timeout that Adam Ford called at 69-59, down by 10. And we said at the time that he said to his troops, this right now is going to be a moment we look back on in this season. Well, since then, it is 74-81 to Cairns Taipans. My oh my, did they give to the coach exactly what he wanted, an emotional response.
I couldn't agree more with you there, Nez. And it's so good to see, considering the Cairns of NBL22, they would just pretty much throw their hands up and go, we're done, we're going to walk away with a loss tonight. So nice to see with new players, new injection, new imports, that they're able to, you know, push through and find their way back into this contest.
10-2 run in the last 3 minutes from the Taipans here has them looking at a 2-0 start to the season after they came up with a win on the road in Hobart to get things underway last Monday. They've done it in a rush as well, and it's dried up for the Southeast Melbourne Phoenix at the offensive end. Just 4 of 11 from the field in this final quarter. Shot clock to single digits. McCall athletically lets off another 2, so he's got 15 now, including 5 in this final quarter. And the margin is out to 9. Biggest lead we've seen in the game for the Taipans. Creek couldn't finish it at the other end. And Tarangi, a quick whistle. McCall goes down, and he's going to be called for the foul. It's going to be his 3rd personal. Free throws to come here for the Southeast Melbourne Phoenix.
What a turnaround, huh? 10-point lead in the 4th quarter. They're down 9. Wow.
Well, the great Mark Slocum has sent through a very interesting stat. First NBL game, both teams have had 20 turnovers in 10 years.
Wow. See? I wasn't...
Tigers Crocs was the last one, Leonard Copeland.
I didn't have that many. How many turnovers did I have, though?
Yeah.
Let's just slow down, Jenny. Let's just wait to see you.
Sitting here poking,
I'm
poking holes at Phoenix, and you have the highest.
Who won the game? That's all
Just saying you're familiar with this scenario. Teams who've got 20 turnovers apiece.
10 years, been 10 years.
It must have been Drewy. It had to be
Oh,
Drewy.
10 years? It was 10 years ago?
2012.
Oh, no, you weren't playing.
Thank you.
I'll take it back. I take it back.
Don't let him off the hook, Jen. We're giving him too much information. We're having too much fun at his expense there, Leonard Copeland. But it's Cairns by 7, less than a minute to play, and this has unravelled very quickly for the Phoenix, who led by 10 in this final quarter, if you can believe that. Hogue kicks to the corner. This time off the mark, Paul Quayle, but kept alive by Shannon Scott. And impressed with him. Gets after the loose ball here. Needs help, reaching in Bernard. And force a stoppage. But it's all going to be too little too late for the Southeast Melbourne Phoenix.
We need to get this wiped out. That's Cairns' ball.
And I reckon this is one that's got away from the Southeast Melbourne Phoenix, one that they could have got another win under their belt with the team that they have. Obviously, we know they're without 3 of their potential starters sitting on the bench with injury, but so many opportunities in this one to come away with the win, but those 26 turnovers have really come back to haunt them.
Absolutely. Creaky needed some help. I mean, Williams actually came in and played great basketball early. Creek's been playing the whole game. Kyle sort of had a bad one. 1 for 12, didn't help in the turnovers. It hurt him.
Timeout called, 33.5 seconds left on the clock. And this is the type of loss where you've led by 10 in the last quarter. And as you say, it's costly, Jen, because last year the Phoenix finished 6th, 2 games out of the finals on a 15 and 13 record. So 2 games out. These are the type losses that you don't remember when you get to the end of the season, but they are super costly.
That's right.
Full credit to the Taipans, though. Of course, last season, 9th on the ladder, just 9 wins. They're going to start 2-0. And
2-0 on the road, too.
On the road.
Yeah, fantastic.
So that's exciting for them, but obviously some work to do for the Southeast Melbourne Phoenix, who are going to get players back, as we know, from injury. And it's going to be the Perth Wildcats, who are next in line on Monday night for the Cairns Taipans. And interestingly, that game I was speaking about where the teams had 20 turnovers apiece, it was Townsville 67, Tigers 64.
Young boys. Maybe Homicide played for him or something. I don't know. It wasn't me.
Well, we'll ask Homicide about that, because you're right. Maybe his vintage. So, Taipans with possession here. Reminder, Perth against the Hawks. Coming up a little later tonight. Here's Pinder in traffic. Busted play. Hogue adds another 2.
There was some very physical basketball in that out of bounds. Lucky for Cairns to come away with the shot there.
From long range, Williams fires the 3. Couldn't get it to go. McCall the rebound. Zigzagging his way up the floor. Ball knocked down out of court with 13 seconds on the clock. This has been a terrific fight back from the Taipans. They were down 10 in this final quarter. They now lead by 9. It's been 4 years since the Taipans started the season 2-0. But after defeating the Jack Jumpers in Hobart on Monday night, they have come to Melbourne and snapped a 9-game losing streak at John Cain Arena, and the Cairns Taipans have defeated the Southeast Melbourne Phoenix by 9 points. It's Cairns 85, Southeast Melbourne Phoenix 76. Keanu Pinder is our player of the game, and we'll come back to wrap it up in just a moment. Nice night at the office for our Foot Locker player of the game from Keanu Pinder, and well done to the Taipans. More on your Hungry Jacks NBL Saturday night right after this. to the Hungry Jacks NBL Saturday night action, the first of our two games, and the Cairns Taipans have come from 10 down in the last quarter to win it by 9, thanks largely to Keanu Pinder, who finishes the game with 19 points, 8 rebounds, scored the first 6 points of the game for Cairns and set the tone early, Jen.
He did indeed, and then that allowed the others to come into the game really well. He was a huge reason they were great tonight, especially on the defensive end, and I think it's going to be a chance for an NBL most improved this season.
Absolutely. We spoke about him earlier, and we talked about how he's changed his game. Adam Ford's getting the best out of him, and he continues to play like this. Look out, Cairns, they can make the playoffs.
Oh, that's a big call.
That's a big call.
So Cairns start 2-0. Phoenix restricted into the 70s for the second straight game. They've got some work to do. Trust you've enjoyed us. Stick around. We've got Perth against the Hawks coming your way in the not too distant future. We see Bryce Cotton and the Wildcats go at it with Illawarra. But it is all hands on deck for the Cairns Taipans, who win at 85-76 by 9 points after being down 10 in the last quarter. We'll see you soon.
This program is brought to you by Hungry Jacks and Bunnings Warehouse.
Turn your eyes to the big screen to learn more about our big man as we cast the spotlight on number 5, Ollie Hayes Brown.